Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 5-Minute Fat Loss and Fitness Secrets. This is episode number 3. Some of you might not have thought I would be back for 2, much less 3, but I'm here for day number 3. My name is Corey House. I am your fat loss and fitness expert. For those of you who don't know me, I am a former fat kid who not only conquered his own fat loss struggles, but I've also had the awesome opportunity to help more than 2,300 other people completely transform their bodies through my brick and mortar fitness studios in upstate New York and through my online coaching program. If you are joining me live this morning for this episode number 3, please don't be shy. Say something in the comments. Say hi. Let me know you are here. If you have a question, ask it. Maybe I'll have some time to answer it today. Or if you are catching this at a later time, comment replay below or say anything in the comments so I know when this is reaching you and I can hopefully deliver these at the ideal time for you to watch them. So today's question comes from Amy in Clifton Park. So those of you who don't know where that is, it is in upstate New York, just north of Albany, New York. And she says, I went off my low carb diet and I started putting weight back on, like 5 pounds in the first 2 weeks off low carb. Is this normal? So this is a loaded question, and there's a lot of things that we don't know just from this question. So a lot of people will say diets don't work, and you're going to hear a lot of people who are fitness experts, and I've said this myself, that dieting doesn't work. Dieting is awful. Well, here's the truth. Here's the fact. Like, diets work. The purpose of a diet, a calorie restricted diet, is to put you in a calorie deficit so you can lose weight. So if you lost weight on a diet, then the diet worked. Okay. It wasn't anything wrong with the diet. It helped you lose weight. Maybe it's not the ideal approach to help you lose weight, but if it helped you lose weight, then it worked. The problem isn't with the diet a lot of times. The problem is people go from a fat loss phase. So you're like actively chasing fat loss and chasing your goals and trying to lose weight. So you're in that phase and you're doing all the things that you need to do. You're tracking your food. You're in a calorie deficit. Maybe you're moving more. You're working on your sleep. You're drinking more water. You're doing all of these things. And then you've reached your goal, or maybe you've gotten close to your goal, or maybe you just got a little bit tired of doing whatever it is you were doing to chase that goal. And you go from a fat loss phase and you try to go into a maintenance phase. So you're done chasing the goal and you've reached a place where you're happy, or at least you're satisfied, and you try to go back to maintenance now. The problem with this is you're going from fat loss phase to maintenance phase, and you're skipping over a very important phase. You're skipping over the recovery phase. So you put all of this stress on your body. You put all of this stress on your metabolism, and your metabolism has adapted and it's slowed down. And what you're now trying to do is go back to what you were doing before. You increase your calorie intake, you stop moving. So your body's not burning as many calories. And if you stop moving and stop being as active, now you're burning fewer calories that way as well. And you add in all of this food. Yeah, of course, you're going to put weight back on. And because your metabolism is not ready for an increased amount of food, if you do it the wrong way, you don't go through a recovery phase, then you're going to put a lot of weight back on. And a lot of people will just say, fuck it. Pardon my language, but they're going to say, fuck it. I put on all of this weight within the last 2 or 3 weeks after I did all of this work to try to get the weight off. And they're going to throw in the towel and they're going to say it's just not worth it. But they don't realize that there's a very important phase in between after you actively chase a goal. And if you don't go through that phase where you're strategically increasing your calories, reducing stress on your body, reducing metabolic stress, reducing the stress on your endocrine system and your hormones, then of course you are going to put weight back on. You can't do that. So you need to have that recovery phase in place. That said, if you're doing something like a low carb diet and you go back to eating carbohydrates, Yeah, especially if it's super low carb, of course, you are going to put some weight back on. Is it fat? No, it's not going to be fat right away in the short term. It's going to be water gain, because every gram of carbohydrate that your body stores, it's going to hold on to about 4 grams of water. So you're going to store carbohydrates in the form of glucose in your liver, and you're going to store it in your muscles. You're going to store it in those areas. And when you start eating more carbs, you're going to put water weight back on. So it's not like you're putting on weight. You might feel a little puffy, you might feel a little bloated. But if you think about when you first lost all the weight, maybe you thought that was all fat. Reality check: when you're doing low carb and you take away all of your carbohydrates, most of that initial weight loss, not the long-term weight loss, the initial weight loss is going to be water weight. That's why low carb it's just another hack. It's just another tool. Okay. If it works for you and you've got other reasons, and there are other reasons to do low carb. If you've got insulin resistance and you've got issues with processing carbohydrates, then going low carb, especially refined carbs, that makes a lot of sense. But if you're just doing low carb because you think it's the best way to lose weight, well, you're wrong, because the only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. And the way that low carb works is it takes away calories by getting rid of your carbohydrates. You cannot eat as much fat and protein as you want to and still lose weight. You still have to be in a calorie deficit. So I could take away fats, or I could take away carbs, or I could take away protein. I can't eat the other 2 nutrients. Even though protein is like the best of the 3 and the most important of the 3, if I'm only eating protein and I'm not eating fat or carbs, I can't eat as much as I want to. Not only will I have the meat sweats and be completely uncomfortable, but I'm going to gain weight if I'm eating too much. So hopefully that makes sense. If you are in an active fat loss phase, whatever diet you are doing, you cannot go from dieting to maintenance and expect not to put weight back on. So it also comes down to expectations. What is it that you expect is going to happen? Do you expect that you're going to go back to living? You also have to think about, what did you do to get the weight off? Should you continue to carry forward some of those behaviors? Because obviously they helped you improve your health. So if you're moving more and you're walking and you're being more active, you're eating more vegetables, you're eating more lean protein, you're working out and doing strength training. If you're doing these things and you remove these things, and these things are good for your health, then the expectation is that now you're not going to be quite as healthy, or you're not going to have the body composition that you had when you were doing these things. Hopefully that makes complete sense, and hopefully you gain some value from today's question from Amy up in Clifton Park. The way that you can help me and the way that you can help other people is this. If you gained any value, if you thought this information was worth anything, even though it's completely free, please smash the like button, the love button, subscribe if you're on YouTube, share this with somebody, drop a comment, let me know that you gained value from it. Do something to help spread this and let other people know so that they can learn this information. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and I will be back with you tomorrow morning, probably around 10:30 or 11 a.m. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.